What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, the Tacoma is getting a major lighting upgrade on the truck. I'm throwing a couple of absolute pumpkins on this truck, so stick around. You'll know what I'm talking about in just a second. Alright guys, so obviously when you look at my truck, one of the things that I'm really lacking for a build like this is lighting. I don't have a ton of lighting. You know, of course I have the little ditch lights up there that I never used because they were wired up super sketchy. I have the headlights. They're a little bit better now with the Highlands high beams in there, but still not great overall. And then finally I have the bumper fog lights, which are awesome. These throw light super duper far. But yeah, overall I don't have a ton of light that is really usable when off-roading outside of the little bumper lights there. But today that's going to change because I am throwing a massive lighting upgrade onto the front bumper of the Tacoma. You guys are going to see here in just a second. So as you can see, when I say massive, that is no exaggeration. These 9-inch lights are literally as big as my head, which is insane. And these are going to go right on the front bumper of the truck. And I'm going to be installing them today. And I can't wait to get these on the truck and see what type of light they're going to be throwing out because these things look insane. Alright, so looking at the front bumper here, they're pretty much going to go as far over towards the middle as they can without interfering with the TSS on the truck or the winch access holes that I have in the bumper here. So as you can see, I kind of already marked the spot that I'm going to be using, and I did that by taking off the bottom of the lights here, the bracket, and just kind of lining it up and making sure it fits. It's going to be pretty close here with the grill, especially the TRD Pro grill, since it sticks out a little bit. It'll be close, it'll be a little bit tight getting in there, but I think it's going to fit okay. What I'm going to have to do, obviously, is I'm going to have to drill a hole in right here, and then that way I can stick a bolt through and have a nut on the inside that'll tighten it down. So that's going to be the first goal here, drilling a hole into the bumper on each side and then getting ready to bolt these down, and then we'll get into the wiring part after that. And then just to show you what we're working with here, the lights when you get them are pre-assembled like this one with the bracket already on. I just took this off so that I could use the Sharpie in the hole here and get it marked on the bumper. But it also comes with all of the hardware you're going to need. So this larger bolt is the one that's going to go in the middle, and then you can even put these two bolts on. I think maybe these are used if you want to put it on something like the Prinsu rack where you need like a carriage bolt. I think that'll work up there, but I'm just going to use the one bolt. I think that'll be enough, the big one in the middle. That should hold it on just fine. Of course, in addition to that, you get some type of wiring harness here. So this wiring harness, it looks like it has the button, obviously, a Deutsch connector, and then you have your power and ground, and then I think there's a I forget what it's called, like a ballast or whatever here that you're gonna also put to the ground. By the way, one more thing to note while I'm installing these lights on the bumper, I don't think I'm going to take off the bumper shell of the bumper to install these lights. If you haven't seen my video already of the Backwoods Adventure Mods overview or the install video, I'll link those in the description as well so you guys can see. But they really designed this bumper super good for accessing things. So I have these giant winch access holes here that I'm going to be able to just drill in here, and then I can probably just stick my hand in there and hold the bolt, whether with a wrench or my hand, while I am tightening down the lights. So I really don't think that I need to take the whole bumper off, and I kind of don't want to anyway because I'd have to take these off and then worry about the winch cable and whatnot. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give it a go doing the drilling and installing these lights without taking the bumper off, and hopefully that works out okay. Alright, so it is the next day. As you can see behind me, I got the lights installed last night. I didn't end up wiring it last night. I actually just finished wiring it. So I'm going to show you a real quick overview of how I did that. And basically it's just down to testing the lights right now. Unfortunately, my Deutsch splitter did not come in enough time. So I won't be able to run both lights at the moment, just one, until that splitter comes in. And I can split the power that I'm getting from the harness to both lights. But right now I just have one hooked up just to test it and see if it's working. All right, so it's a pretty standard wiring harness for a light. You have your positive and negative leads. Your positive comes with a fuse already in it, which is super nice. You also have this little box here. I forget what it's called. It's like a ballast or something. I'll make sure to pop up on the screen the correct name for this, but I always forget. And then from here, obviously I have one fed through the firewall there into the truck. And if you don't know how to get wires through the firewall, use something like this, a little coat hanger, where you can like pinch the cord in the end and then just feed this side through, and it'll pull through the rest of the harness, which is super nice, super easy. That's the best way I found to do it. Makes it super simple. But anyway, so each one of these harnesses only has one Deutsch connector on the end, so that's this excess that I'm going to have to zip tie up. But I have it running down and connected to this light, so we're going to go ahead and test it real quick. So inside the truck here, I just have the connector that comes with the harness at the moment. I haven't figured out what I want to do with this yet as far as using one of these buttons or whatnot. I think I might end up trying to wire it to the Sasquatch lights button, because that was for my ditch lights, which I am taking off. Those are no longer going to be on the truck. So I think I might try to figure out how to wire from these three wires here into this switch, but I'll have to look that up and do it another day. For now, it's probably just going to be hanging out here, or I might pop out the Sasquatch lights and just kind of hang that through at the moment. But anyway, let's go ahead and give it a test. So good sign that we got the red on the button. That means we have power. And then if we look up here, we have the light on. So that's a pretty concentrated beam there, which looks great so far. Looks good on the light. Alright, so this is good. So that means once I get the splitter in from Amazon, all I really have to do is plug the two parts of the splitter for each of the lights into the harness, the Deutsch harness, and then both of these lights will have power and we're good to go there just off the one harness. Alright, so as you can see here, I have both of the lights hooked up with the splitter that I needed, getting power from the one single harness. So I wanted to take some time just to really quickly go over the specs for these lights. I'm going to go ahead and pop it up on the screen as well. But these are the Pathfinder Prowlr 9-inch side shooter driving lights. And I got them in amber, but they also come in white as well. And as you can see, some of the most notable specs, first of all, waterproof rating, they're IP68/69K waterproof rated. So you're not going to have to worry about them getting wet and shorting out or anything like that. In addition to that, they are throwing 1 lux at 263 meters per unit. So that's a really solid amount of light output for these lights. And the most notable thing about these lights is the actual beam pattern itself. So it's a combo beam pattern with a wide side shooter. So as you can see by the design of the lights themselves, the housing actually has a slot on each side, which allows light to be thrown out to the sides of the light. And honestly, as I was driving down the road, and I'll pop this up on the screen, the lights were throwing a lot of light out wide, to the point that honestly it could potentially replace ditch lights, which is great for me because I'm actually getting rid of my ditch lights, and I was pleasantly surprised to see how much light these were throwing out to the sides, enabling me to see the side of the road or the ditch as I'm driving down the road. So I really think these have a great beam pattern, and they're going to work really perfect for me when paired with the Pathfinder cube lights that I have in the bumper, which are more of a straight up beam pattern that throw light really, really far. So I'm now able to pair these, which give me some wide lighting, as well as those which throw the light pretty far, and overall getting a lot of light output from these two sets of Pathfinder lights. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button as well. These lights are obviously going to be linked in the description of the video, so make sure to check Pathfinder out. They're making super solid off-road lighting. And I'm going to go ahead and end this video with a few more clips of the lights, so stick around for that. And once again, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.